Live. Had to
Can
update
you say, let's try it again,
had to
Sam?
update the titles because, I apparently can't get things straight. Just putting it out there. Can't get things straight.
Sometimes it's better to be a little crooked than it is to be straight.
Right? That's what I keep saying to people, but you know what? What do I know?
Pretty much. No, get down.
Nope,
Get
didn't want
down.
that. That's what I wanted.
You're just going to have to deal with
Boom.
it, buddy.
Alrighty. So we should be live on pretty much everything right now. Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, D-Live, which for some reason D-Live is not letting me access my own page on my app here. So I'm a little bummed about that, but I'll get that working shortly.
We hope.
Get it going shortly. And, I didn't bring my chat up. I gotta bring my chat up.
Bring your chat up, man. Gotta have your chat up.
I do. I'm just
Yeah, I'm going to
curious.
have fun with that thing on Wednesday, man.
You are.
I was sitting there listening to some of the songs last night that I recorded way back when. I mean, around the time frame of me and you and the Red, White, and Blue.
Yep.
When those came out, I found like 4 songs last night.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm listening to them going,
that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time. All right, let me switch.
Sitting there listening to them going, you know what? These songs are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Hello. Hi, everybody.
All right, we ready to start?
We're live. We're ready to go. At least I think. You know what? My chat still didn't come up for some reason. Hold on one second here, and we'll get squared away.
Just let me know, and I'll do the intro.
Oh, you're going to do the intro tonight? All right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I want to say hi to Val. She's watching on Facebook. Hello, Val. Miss you, buddy. If you want to join us into the chat, twitch.tv/accidentalpunch. That's where we are. It's free to do. That's where everybody is. So hello, everybody. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Loki. I want to say hi to Christina as well. Christina, I haven't seen you so long. Miss you. Love the little one. I love seeing all the pictures. She's on Facebook as well, so hello. But yeah, we're getting ready to rock this out. We're going to be talking about Loki episode 4. So if you haven't seen it by now, WTF. Lately, Big Tank has been notorious for that.
Yes, he has. But he's had a lot of stuff going on, so.
Very true. He has. So we're kind of letting him slide. But yeah, let's get to it. Avenger Pretenders, ladies and gentlemen. We are recording live Avenger Pretenders. JT, take it away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2.4 of Avenger Pretenders. It's the geek and the redneck analyzing and breaking down and just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with episode 4 of Loki. So, here comes the geek. That would be Sully.
That's me.
And the redneck. That's me.
Woohoo!
Let's roll, boys.
Let's kick it out of the park again. I'm Sully. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in tonight. This week's podcast is brought to you by Anchor.fm. If you want to get into podcasting and you don't know how to do it, go to Anchor.fm, sign up. It's free to do, and they distribute your podcast for you. Get a couple of friends, start recording, and you can have a podcast just like this. That's Anchor.fm. Check them out today. We are talking about Loki episode 4, the Nexus event. That is exactly what has happened on Wednesday. If you missed our show last week, the first thing that we said was, the episode was 3. Good recap of the episode. It was a 3.
Right.
And I think everybody was kind of in agreement. Not much has happened during episode 3. But then came episode 4.
Yeah.
Episode
They made up for the boring of 3.
and don't get me wrong, 3 really wasn't boring. It was just slow. It was slow moving.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was done quick. It was also one of the shorter episodes. This one was almost 49 minutes long, and a lot happened. We first start out with the episode. We see Sylvie in her room on Asgard playing with what looked to be a horse and a figure on it, maybe like Valkyrie. Valkyrie. Little Easter egg there, folks. For the Valkyrie of Asgard. Yeah.
Crack.
Don't mess with them. But that's when we see Ravonna Renslayer, as she was a hunter back then, come in and arrest her for crimes against the sacred timeline, and basically erased her entire timeline and existence. Which was very interesting, because here you are, you have a hunter that went in and found a variant of Loki that hadn't done anything. At least that we know of. I mean, she was a kid.
Yeah, they never did get into what the crime was, what it was that she did that would cause her to have been arrested for crimes against the sacred timeline.
Right. And to me, that kind of ties into do you remember the movie well, it was with Tom Cruise, where it was very similar. They were basically hunting criminals before they could do a crime. Came out a couple of years ago.
I do.
Minority Report. That's the movie. Minority Report. Where it's basically the same thing. Okay? They went down, they had a couple of geniuses or whatever it was. I forget the actual term they used, but basically it was the same thing, where it was all against pre-crime, and they were arresting them for crimes against humanity.
They're trying to stop the crimes before they happened.
Yeah, and I that's kind of how I tied things together with it. Is I'm comparing it to Minority Report. So the TVA is basically the pre-crime of the timeline, you know, and when I saw that, and we got a cat butt on camera, folks. So for those listening to the podcast,
the cat sticking their butt in your face is their way of telling you they love you.
Yeah. So
this one has a crush on me.
Aw. I'm just gonna clean myself on camera. Well, for those listening to the podcast, if you've never watched this live, you really should. Twitch.tv Twitch.tv/Accidental Punch, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, with surprise shows throughout the week. So you might want to check it out. But basically, we see her go through the same routine that Loki went through. And one of the things that I did notice is when Sylvie was going through that metal detector that basically, burns you alive or whatever, there was a lot of burn marks on the floor.
Yes. People that didn't know that they were robots.
Oops. Uh-oh. But at the same time, once she goes through the trial, they threw a little twist. We see how Sylvie got Renslayer's TemPad and escaped.
Took off. Yep.
Just took off into the timeline. So a lot of it, it kind of backs up what happened on episode 3 of Sylvie saying, I was out here all alone. I was surviving myself, and I had to teach myself how to do things. She was a survivor. Her timeline was destroyed. That was an
aha moment for me.
Right.
It's like, so that's how she came to be.
Right. That makes sense. So if you fast forward back to the present, now we've got Mobius asking Renslayer about Hunter C20.
Mm-hmm.
And Renslayer automatically says C20 died from mental breakdown.
Yeah.
So she's kind of blaming it on Sylvie that, hey, this is what's going on. This is what happened to her. but you never kind of put two and two together.
Well,
Well, they don't. Anyway.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but just I want to, if I'm thinking right,
Yeah.
if we back up a little bit, they've recaught Loki and female Loki.
Not yet. We didn't get
Not
there
yet?
yet. Nope, we didn't get there yet.
Okay. It's there, but it's kind of
It's almost, we're almost there. We are
okay.
almost there. So you got to remember.
So this was before Loki talked to Mobius then.
Right. Well, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
You got to remember, Loki and Sylvie are on Lamentus 1.
That's right. Yeah, they're still there.
Lamentus 1 is going to go boom.
Go boomy boomy.
Like it's up in flames, folks.
That's right, because they're scanning the timeline for
yes,
for branches.
And Mobius is trying to find Loki and Sylvie. Okay, so after he questions about Hunter C20, which we already know is a variant, we already know this. We've proven
it. Discovered that last week.
But later on, it gets a little bit more detail. So Mobius is back, and while they're searching for Loki and Sylvie, because they still don't know where they are, we go to Loki and Sylvie on Lamentus 1, where everything's going up in smoke, everything's burning to the ground, and they kind of form like a little bit of a romantic connection between the two. Loki falls in love with Loki.
I mean, I'm in love with myself, but I still don't think I would go that far.
Well, got to remember,
Just saying.
Different variant, different timeline, and she's female, and she's Asgardian.
Right.
And she's going by the name of Sylvie. So there you go. But again, it's a whole different thing. Okay, so now they're about to die. They're about to die. And this was not really the aha moment, but it was more of the make sense moment. Because Loki was kind of forming a romantic bond with Sylvie, this is where you see the Nexus event start to go perpendicular with the sacred timeline. Because they're not supposed to fall in love with each other. Yes, that kind of erases everything that happened beforehand where they were hiding in death and destruction, Armageddon, world-destroying events.
Right.
But because they formed that little bit of a romantic tie to each other, that got the spike to go completely sideways. All during this death and destruction. So obviously, Mobius was looking for them, and they saw the spike, and they went, get them. Get them in here. Just get them.
I like the timing of it all.
It worked out so well. It really did. It was one of those things where you're like, okay, that makes sense. Because they weren't a part of that. And it was a good way for them to kind of, hey, we're calling out for help. Come get us.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to get arrested, which obviously they did, because once they went through, the TVA went and arrested them. No problems. Brought them both into TVA headquarters. They were both imprisoned and not in the same theater. Now what I mean by that is, if you remember from episode 1, Loki had his theater. I forget what number it was. But they brought Sylvie into Theater 47. And 47 actually does have a little bit of a Easter egg to it. It's not much.
No.
But
you're kidding, right?
when it comes to a geek thing, it's not just a Marvel thing. Okay? This could be ties to video games, other TV shows, other movies, homages, so to speak. And one of the things that you have to remember is they're subtle. So it's Sylvie being held in Theater 47. That number alone, has a huge connection to science fiction.
Okay.
Huge.
Are you going to tell us what it is?
I am.
Okay.
Star Trek The Next Generation uses the number 47 like God knows how many times. I
Okay.
mean, 7 years worth. Okay. Think of it this way. It's like with Pixar. Pixar has a number two. It has A113. A113 is the classroom that most animators are in at a specific school, which is why they use it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A113. Okay? It just, that's the way it is. They pay homage to where people have come from and so on and so forth. And Star Trek The Next Generation dealt with a lot of time travel.
Just
A lot of time travel. The writer, Joe Menosky, I didn't know this, but the writer Joe Menosky attended Pomona College, where 47 is something of a meme for them due to two students in the 60s researching whether the number appears more frequently than others. If you really want to go a step further,
Okay.
all you video game folks out there like me, the Hitman video game series is Agent 47. You're the main character of Agent 47. So there's a lot of different tiny tidbits that you can kind of go, is that reaching or was it an homage, so to speak? Okay? When it comes to science fiction...
Is there any way to tell for sure? Or
to be
you
honest...
just have to sit there and go,
To be honest, I think it's more interpretation to the viewer.
Okay.
You know, when you looked at Theater 47, you just looked at Theater 47.
Right.
To me, I went, that's significant. Let me look this up.
I think Loki was 16. For some reason, the number 16 keeps coming into my head.
You think 16?
Mm-hmm.
Loki, let's do this. Loki's theater in Loki is, let's see here. Nope. In Loki episode 1. There we go. Let's see here. I don't remember if they actually show what theater he's in, though. I don't remember. I really don't. It's been a couple episodes. I'll have to go back and rewatch it. But
right.
But all in all, it's specific to the characters. The theaters are specific to the characters. So in my interpretation, aside from looking things up with number 47, my thought is this. Whoop! Hang on a minute. Something started playing. There we go. My thought is this. That when I see a number on a wall or whatever, there's more of a significance. My thought is that Theater 47 means that Sylvie is actually a 47th variant of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Is it true? I don't know. Western Echo says, hello! Admit it, though, there's a lot of us who have been wanting to do this to Owen Wilson for about 2.5 decades. Yeah. We didn't get that far yet, but we will. But yes, I mean, wow. Just wow. But we're getting there. So
right.
So obviously Mobius takes Loki to his theater. The others take Sylvie to her theater, and well, Mobius is like destroying Loki. He's like yelling. The two of them are going back and forth and fighting. They're not listening. And Loki finally says that we're all variants. We're all variants. And Mobius doesn't believe him at first. So he puts him through a time lock. It's a time prison, I think is what they said. And basically it's a time loop. And they pick a specific point in time, and it just loops over and over again. Kind of good payback to Doctor Strange. It's very good payback to Doctor Strange. And with it, I think it kind of helped a little bit. It helped Loki kind of realize what he had done with that time loop, you know?
Right.
And very good payback, and referring to Lady Sif, who Loki grew up with. And let's face it, Loki had a thing for Lady Sif back in the movies. We know this. They were friends, but he did whatever. And in this case, they got Jamie Alexander back to play Sif because, well, he banished her from Asgard back in the second movie, and you only saw her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think once or twice, and then that was it. We haven't seen her since. So it was good to kind of see her back. And basically what happened was they had a thing where Loki cut her hair, and she was pissed.
Yes, she was.
So pissed, in fact, that punched him, kneed him, knocked him down, did whatever on loop.
Told him he is alone and he will always be alone.
Yeah. Western Echo says Jamie Alexander hinted she's coming back to MCU permanently, by the way. She never really left. Yes, she had the show on NBC, but that's been canceled, and I know a lot of the filming with that and the filming with the movies it was just it was not a good time for her, but it is something that, she never really left. It was always on the cards for her to come back. So, yay. Lady Death says she kicked him in the nards over and over and over again. Yeah, yes, kicked him while he was down, too. And it got to the point where even after a while, he said, I'm going to be alone. And Sif goes, yes, you will always be alone. And then kind of walks away.
What I liked was that no matter what kind of change he tried to make in what happened the first time still happens.
Yes.
It happens repeatedly. No matter how he tries to manipulate the scene.
Yes.
He still gets kneed in the nards every time.
Or he's already down and gets, kicked in the head.
Right. Yeah, there was one of those.
So I was very happy to see that she was back as Lady Sif. I thought it was a great way to kind of bring her back into the MCU, even though she never really left. I'm kind of bummed we didn't get to see her in Endgame, but again, we don't know what happened to her. I mean, she may be off planet somewhere. They can even do a TV show with her if they wanted to, which is pretty cool.
Right.
So after a while, Mobius brings Loki out to interrogate him, okay, asking about how the Nexus event occurred, while mocking Loki. And let's face it, what Loki was doing was very narcissistic. Okay,
just a little bit.
It was very narcissistic for the fact that he was falling in love with himself. Well, falling in love with his female variant. It is a little creepy, but again,
it's got a little bit of the awe to it, but it's got a little bit more of the ew.
She's a loner, I'm a loner type thing. I get it.
If you think about it, that would be incest to the ultimate level.
Yeah, that'd be weird. It'd be very, very weird.
Whatever came out of that would look like something that came out of Stewie's frickin' machine where he was trying to alter his DNA. I mean, there some scary shit came out of there, I'm telling you.
Yeah. And that's basically when Loki goes on to say, you're all variants. You've been here before. You've been plucked away from your own timeline. That's how the timekeepers work. And it gets more doubt in Mobius's head. I mean, think about it. Even though he really didn't believe him, a part of him did. Lady Death says it's not even incest because she isn't his sister. She is him.
Yeah.
Listen, we've had people marrying ghosts on the Sully show, so yeah. Just putting that out there. Let's put that into perspective. So from there, he puts Loki back in the time loop for more, for some cool down time where he gets his ass kicked, pretty
Right.
much.
And I actually just went through an entire article on episode 1
Yeah,
of Loki, and in the article it does not say what theater they
what
put him in.
theater it's in. So we'll have to go back and look at that.
But the reason I'm thinking 16 is because in the opening credits,
Yep.
and I think in the ending credits too, they go by theater 16.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I'm thinking that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think so too. It's something that we're gonna have to definitely look up because I really don't remember. I wish I did, but I don't.
Right.
From there, that puts more doubt, and Mobius gets suspicious. He gets suspicious about things. So he's back in with Renslayer. They're talking. They're closing the case. They're signing over, signing all the paperwork. Case closed. They caught the variant. So on and so forth.
Let's have a drink to celebrate. Clink.
But at the same time, Mobius decides to steal Renslayer's tempad.
He pulled a Loki, is
He
what he did.
He pulled a Loki.
He pulled a freaking Loki.
He pulled a Loki so quick. Well, quicker for us by distracting Renslayer. Okay.
Yeah, just a simple question: so where are you going to put that nice little memento?
Right. And he was also he decided that once they were done, he'd switch the temp pads out and walk away. He's going to go and hide and look at the footage. Look at the footage of the interrogation with C-20 and to confirm Loki's statement. Because C-20 even said, "I'm not from here." You can hear the conversation. And Renslayer was in there and boom.
Yep.
So with that, though, well, now we have B-15. Remember B-15? She got taken over by Sylvie as well.
Yeah. You could tell that something was bothering B-15 when Mobius first walked by her. I think he was heading over to Renslayer's office.
Yep.
And she was just acting strange. She wasn't acting like herself.
Well, she wasn't acting like herself, but at the same time, Mobius also said to her that C-20 was dead. And that's kind of what clued B-15 into going, something's not right.
Right. Exactly.
Something's not right.
There's always that little thing that goes ding, ding, and the light bulb comes on.
So now we get B-15 goes into the theater where Sylvie is and automatically opens up a door and she says, "Come with me." Now at first Sylvie's like, "All right, you're going to interrogate me now? Like what's going on?" But instead B-15 brings her to Alabama in 2050, the same place that they got messed up. Rain.
The same place that she took over her body.
Yep, the hurricane. The hurricane that wipes out Alabama. And specifically says to her, show me. Even
me the money.
She wanted to know exactly what Sylvie meant by them being variants. And wanted to know.
Well, she wanted to know what she used to be.
Right. She wanted to know what she used to be. So Sylvie, and she questions, she goes, "What did you put in C-20's head?"
Right.
She didn't put anything that was already there. And she had to explain.
If I remember right, the line was, "I cannot manufacture or create a memory."
Right. It was something that was already there. So she shows B-15 exactly her past life.
Yeah.
And you can
Would you want to know? Would you want to know?
You know what? I probably would. I probably would want to know. Because
I'm not sure.
Especially in this type of situation, like if a door opened up and the TVA says to me, "Yep, you're gonna be blowing up the timeline sometime soon. You're under arrest." I'm gonna go, "Well, what I do?"
Right.
Because if I'm gonna do it, I'll stop it. I won't do it. If picking up this cup means I'm going to disturb the timeline, I won't pick up the cup at a certain time and not do it.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that'll create some ripples and whatnot, but I think I would want to know. And if I was working for that company for thousands and thousands of years, I would want to know
Yep.
why. Why am I working for them? Did I do a plea deal? Did you erase my memories? Is something there? That's the thing that they're doing is they're erasing people's memories, which is why that goes back to Mobius talking about the jet ski.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a memory he had. He had a jet
I think
ski.
it is too. And when they mention in episode 3 about, she had to go back hundreds of years
Right.
to find that memory in C20, I thought of it then, but I didn't really think about it until now, that he has such an affection in the way that he talks about a jet ski when him and Loki are talking.
Sure.
There's so much of an affection there for it that there had to be something special about a jet ski somewhere in his past
Had to be.
that would make him just so focused on a jet ski.
Yep.
Of all the things that you could focus on
Why a jet ski?
in the world, why a freaking jet ski?
Right.
He talks like the jet ski was the most perfect thing ever created.
Well, I mean,
him.
it does
So,
create a lot of happiness. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I mean, it's obvious that I think there was something special that happened on a jet ski or had to do with a jet ski in his past.
Yes.
That made that such a big thing in his mind that it was able to break through all the mind erasing and everything that they've done.
Had to.
With them. So, that little clue just kind of, adds a little zigzag to things for me anyway, as for tying things together. Yeah.
So from there, after B-15 learns her true variant, we now see Mobius freeing Loki. But before Loki is actually 100% freed, we see Lady Sif come in. And he actually changes the time loop by admitting how wrong he was and how he'd always be alone. And she actually extended her hand to lift him up off the ground, and she walked away. Which, I don't know if that's
nutting him.
Yeah. Say that again?
Without nutting him.
Yep, without nutting him.
That's a very important thing that we have to get in there.
You had to. So now Mobius is, let's go. I believe you. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've looked at video. Let's do this thing. Let's figure out why this is happening.
Right.
And the minute they come out of the time loop prison, they're confronted by Renslayer and the TVA Minutemen. And
they say, uh-oh.
it is an uh-oh, but at the same time, it's one of those, who's the bad guy?
He knew it was coming.
Yeah. He
knew it was going to happen. You just didn't know, you just wondered how soon is this going to play out in the scheme of this episode.
Right. So from there, Mobius flat out acknowledges his betrayal and variant status. He understands he's a variant, and he flat out says, you asked me where I would like to go if I could choose any point in time. I would like to go back where I came from. Who knows? Maybe I have a jet ski. Maybe I was happy there.
Yep.
And then he gets pruned, apparently killing them. You see him disappear, just like you saw one of the variants in the first episode disappear, just like you saw some of the TVA Minutemen disappear. They all just, poof,
got boinged up.
Gone. So now, both Loki and Sylvie are being taken to the Timekeepers.
Now it starts getting really freaking good.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. There are still a lot of Easter eggs that we haven't gone over yet, but we will. It's going to be a whole thing down at the bottom. I promise, folks. Lots and lots of stuff. So from there, we're going to see the Timekeepers. For the first time, the Timekeepers. And all hell breaks loose.
I was excited, but at the same time, I wasn't.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
you kind of saw it coming.
Seemed too easy.
You kind of saw things coming. And one of the things that I do like is that B-15 actually frees both Loki and Sylvie.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was funny because when Renslayer opens the door and sees her, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "Okay, who was in here?
Yeah.
Who took her somewhere because her freaking hair is wet?
Why are you wet?" But the other thing is
giggity,
giggity. All right. The other thing is when the three of them are in the elevator together,
mm-hmm.
Sylvie, without turning around, says, "So what did I do? What did I do to become a variant?"
And Renslayer says, "I don't remember.
I don't remember."
Lying sack of shit.
Which to me tells me that Renslayer has been trying to find this female variant of Loki for a very long time, and took it upon herself to go back in time on her timeline and pluck her from a time where she wasn't supposed to be plucked from, right, to erase all of the timeline. Lady Death says, she says, "I call BS on that. Hear me out."
Oh yeah, big time.
Hear me out, okay? What if that female variant of Loki is actually Loki from the same timeline? What if? It's just a what if. So far, my theory hasn't been right. But just do a what if. It's a what if. Okay? It's just a what if.
Okay.
My theory would have been really cool. Obviously, they had other plans. But at the same time, they plucked this innocent little girl who was playing with a Valkyrie figurine in her room on Asgard in the castle while she was young. But they never say why.
Yeah.
Never say why. Lady that says the BS was on her not remembering the Nexus event. I agree.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Total
and
BS.
I think Sylvie knows it too.
She's been hunting this version of Loki
for a long time.
For thousands of years, maybe.
Yep.
You know, all the time as she worked her way up in the ranks of the TVA and being the supervisor, you know, in the supervisory position that she's in, that one case, probably the only person that she ever lost. That one case has always been on her mind, and I guarantee you, she remembers every freaking detail about that case.
Absolutely.
Everything.
And has the paperwork to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
And has the paperwork to prove it. So now, while we're in the same chamber as the Timekeepers, B-15 frees them. She gets knocked out. I don't think she gets killed. She doesn't get pruned or anything, but she does get knocked out. And Sylvie and...
Yeah, no, she's knocked out.
Oh, yeah, she's knocked out. And Sylvie and Loki just start tearing up the Minutemen. They start tearing them up. They start tearing up the guards. The Timekeepers
By the time
guards.
they got done with them, they were called Second Men.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
pretty much. And it gets to the point where Sylvie actually beheads one of the Timekeepers, only to learn what comic fans knew.
Robot.
That yes, they're robots.
A robot.
They're robots. They're androids.
And you know, if you think about it, if you sit down in the moment of the show, you're not going to think about it, or most people won't. You might.
I will, because I've seen it. It's in the comics.
Most people,
right?
You know, outside of the comic book realm, outside of the nerd realm, are not going to think, okay, as a extra level of security, when they go in front of the timekeepers, it's going to be animatronics that
Right. They
we
think they're going to be
control.
real people.
Exactly. You're people are going to think, hey, these are the real timekeepers. So, holy crap, they can, disintegrate me with by blinking their freaking eye or something.
Right.
You're not going to think about, okay, this is a diversionary tactic, basically.
Correct. And
I didn't think about it.
right. Well,
I'm
that's
like
the thing.
Nakia. She says my jaw just dropped, but she still wants Loki's blades.
Of course, we all do. We all do. So from there, though, Renslayer's down and out. We've got a beheaded timekeeper. B-15's out cold. Two others were pruned. The guards are out or dead. And now Loki is going to attempt to tell Sylvie about his feelings and how the Nexus event happened. And Renslayer recovers and prunes him. Just prunes
That's
him.
where my jaw dropped.
That's where everybody's jaw dropped except for mine.
Because you knew it was coming.
Because I knew it was coming. Not only did I know it was coming, but the minute it happened, and this is true, Christy goes, wait a minute. They killed him again? I'm done.
I want to welcome Dear Stabber.
Hey,
to
Dear Stabber, what's
the
up, man?
Chat room. Great to have you along. And Dear Stabber says, I saw the killing of Loki a mile off. It was so predictable. I was quite sad, to be honest, because of how predictable it was. Now,
But that's the thing, you knew it was coming.
My point would be, Dear Stabber, and this is nothing against you, for you, I can only assume from what you said that you're really into the comic books and all that kind of stuff, so you
Right.
could see these kind of things coming.
Like me.
For a redneck like me on the outside of the MCU and everything else,
It's true.
you're going to kill the main character of your entire show, and you still have 2 episodes to go.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh?
What? No. Because
It's
then...
the Tim Taylor thing for a minute.
What? And then Sylvie, pissed off now, overpowers Renslayer, demands to tell her about the truth to TVA, and we cut to the credits. We start the credits right away. We see all the Loki. We see everything changing, just like we've seen at the end of every episode until the mid-credits scene. It's our first episode with a mid-credit scene, and we see Loki waking up. And for me, the first thing that I said was, told you so.
Yeah, but I mean, you're so involved in the MCU
I am.
that you might as well be one of the writers.
Dude, believe me, I would love...
Oh, I know you would.
I would love to write for the MCU. You have no idea. I would be pulling characters out of my ass that nobody has seen in years, even in the comics, because that's how good these characters are. But
Now,
at the
the
same time,
interesting thing is, Nakia says, I figured it was going to happen, but still.
you knew, even with this episode, you knew there was going to be a mid-credit scene because we saw Tom Hiddleston as Loki disappear. Dear Stabber says, see, I wouldn't have mind if they killed Loki, but not in that scene because it wasn't original, if you know what I mean. Absolutely. It really wasn't original. I don't want to say it was a cop-out, but it was kind of more of, we know it's going to happen. We can see it happening because of this. And that you have 2 episodes left.
Could it be a let's get it out of the way thing?
Maybe.
Let's get it out of the way now so that we can set up in the mid-credit scene for where we're going next.
Maybe. I'll give you that one, JT. It might be a maybe for getting it out of the way. Mostly for the fact that, yeah, you know what? Let's get it out of the way. Let's get it over with, done, and let's move on and let's continue the story, because while he's waking up in a post-apocalyptic world. And he says, am I dead? Am I in hell? Right. Oh, no, what was it? Is this hell? Am I dead? And then all of a sudden you just hear a voice that says, no, but you will be if you don't come with us. And when he sits up and looks, there are multiple different variants of Loki. And oh my God, the homage to the comic books was
I
amazing.
even caught that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
even caught that.
You had a gator Loki. You had old man Loki in the original comic book costume.
You had the kid Loki.
You had kid Loki. You had I forget his name. I really forget which Loki he was, but the what was it?
Almost looked like a stone guy, kind of really square.
Yeah,
kinda,
but he was holding a hammer like Mjolnir. Okay?
Yeah.
So maybe it was a Loki that was Thor. He could wield the power of Thor. There are multiple different Lokis in different variant timelines. So I love that they kind of did that and went, you know what, we're going to kind of screw with you and go, here you go. Here's what you want. Here's your homage to the comic book. This is what we want to give you, and go, let's have some fun with this. Okay?
Yeah, it was very interesting. Right? It left me sitting there going,
damn,
holy crap. Where in the hell are they going to go from here?
Right.
Because what that opens up for episodes 5 and 6.
Yes.
It's
crazy.
We've talked about, this thing opens up for this to happen or for that to happen and everything else. This mid-credit scene, to me, opens up an entire new timeline.
Yes.
To happen.
Well, of course it does. I mean, you're going to get all of that.
It's like, wow.
and that's the biggest thing is you're going to get that now, I can tell you that I really have no idea where they're going to be going from here. I really don't. Because there's so many different things.
Yeah.
I can tell you that we're going to see some good action coming up.
I think so. I think the last 2 episodes, if it goes the way and me being me, I'm trying to start doing like you.
Sure.
And kind of predicting ahead. I can see these next 2 episodes moving up to the level of Falcon and Winter Soldier when it comes to the action and the just the amount of things happening and everything else. And if they do that, Loki is going to end on an awesome freaking note.
Absolutely. And
it really is.
My other thing is we still haven't seen ties to Ant-Man and the Wasp just yet. I have a feeling it's gonna.
I bet that happens next episode.
Either the next episode or maybe the last episode.
Well, yeah,
don't know
2 to choose from,
but it's gonna happen. It really is. It's gonna happen, and who knows? Who knows? But man, was this episode full of stuff? Now, just because we still have some more time before we end the stream for the podcast, one of the things that we had talked about at length on the Sully show as well as on Avenger Pretenders when it came to the trailer for Loki was one of the things that we thought was going to be Natasha, Black Widow. Right. And it was a scene with a blonde, short hair, looking out at rocks. We thought may have been her. And it's not. We found out that it was Sylvie after all because they showed that scene in last week's episode.
Right.
There's a lot of connections with other characters between Mobius talking about things and different races and aliens and stuff like that they have captured over the years, like the Kree, Titans, vampires. We know a remake of Blade is coming, and it'll be in the MCU. So we know that Blade is on his way. We also saw some type of connection between the Eternals with the Titans line. And it also kind of connects to Thanos as well. The Mad
I
Titan.
want to see them tie in the Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
Now, if they can do that,
you never know.
There you go.
You never know. And of course, with the Kree, they've mentioned the Kree in Guardians of the Galaxy. They've also mentioned the Kree in Captain Marvel. They played a big thing with against the Skrulls. So we've got a lot of different things going on here. Obviously, we're going to see hopefully more of Lady Sif. We've already know that. We know the Timekeepers are now fake. Kind of like, the Wizard of Oz fake. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. You know? So it's there's a lot of things happening.
That's what I want to know. Of all the things that are going on. Okay, think back to when we were talking about when we were doing Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And we were talking about the WTA or whatever, the main governing body.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, and
I remember.
We were talking about that, and we were talking about how they could be puppets for somebody above them, more powerful than them, that nobody knows about. You've kind of opened up that scenario with what happened in this episode of, okay, who's really running this thing?
Okay.
Sure. And that's kind of what popped into my head was like, okay, if those are, robots and a distraction or whatever you want to call it, who's actually running them? Who's behind controlling what they say in the animatronics so they're moving and all that? Sure. But you notice they don't move that much.
Sure.
So that's where I went with that. It's like, okay, it's really cool what's going on, but I want to know more about this.
Absolutely.
So
I'm loving that they brought in Old Man Loki, the older Loki, because he's very comic accurate with the outfit. Very, very comic accurate. He was played by Richard E. Grant, who also has ties to Doctor Who.
Oh, God.
Just, putting that out there. We got some Doctor Who going on. But we also have the credits. Now, if you really pay close attention to the credits, and they have been changing over time. They've been updating pictures. But one of the things that was kind of a clue that I know I missed at first glance was the So You're a Variant posters. The So You're a Variant posters have been changing, but at the same time, they've also been showing 5 to 6 people on those posters.
I didn't catch that.
Which I kind of put 2 and 2 together. If they're showing 5 to 6 people on those variant posters, that could potentially tie into the Infinity Stones. Different powers, different timelines.
Okay, I can.
Different way they look, different variants.
I can see that tie-in, yeah.
And there's 6 stones. There's 6 Infinity Stones. But those posters have been tying to the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Saga. So we already know there's stones there. And they're using them as paperweights because they don't have the power to do anything. But I thought that was very interesting. And it kind of directs you more to the point of, yes, these people are variants. The truth is coming out. The moonlighting. The energy that we get last week between Sylvie and Loki, that kind of went from Sylvie and Loki to Loki and Mobius, if you think about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is
when
fantastic.
He realized that what Loki was telling him was actually true.
Right.
And the entire complexion of their relationship changed.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah, absolutely. Now
didn't last very long because then he got zapped.
But, true. But now we also have one other thing. the post-apocalyptic world, and I noticed it right off the bat. Loki ended up in a post-apocalyptic world where there were buildings that were destroyed.
Now, I paid attention to your comments
Uh-huh.
that you made to me on, what was it, on Thursday?
Sure. Yep.
No, Wednesday night. Wednesday night.
Yep, Wednesday night.
I did not recognize it.
Okay. So I want you to go back and watch just that post-credit scene. And when you watch it, I want you to take a close look at the building on the right-hand side, right behind Old Man Loki. That building is Avengers Tower.
Okay, see, I was looking at, because you said, keep an eye on the building in the background. I was looking at the tallest building behind Loki.
Yep, nope. The other building.
I wasn't looking at the ones behind.
Yep, you want to pay attention to the ones behind the other characters, because that one building is Avengers Tower. He was transported to a post-apocalyptic New York.
Interesting.
Avengers Tower was partially destroyed. I mean, bad. Most of the buildings were destroyed. So this goes to show.
Well, and that ties back to the very start of the show, because the very start of the show was in Avengers Tower.
Yeah, it was.
Because that's where Loki got a hold of the Tesseract and disappeared.
And
it caused him to get arrested and start this whole freaking thing.
Yep. And they just reset the timeline.
Interesting.
Reset it back. So now we're at the point, we're in post-apocalyptic New York. We don't know where Mobius is, but at the same time, maybe he's in the same spot as well as all the other TVA agents that got pruned.
Could be.
You never know. So now I think we're going to see some timelines crossing now. We're going to see some interesting stuff over the next week. And let me tell you, we got 2 more episodes left, and it's going to be amazing. Amazing.
It's going to be very interesting to see it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, for me, if you remember after the first 3 episodes, I was talking about how overwhelming it was for me with all the Easter eggs and all the different timelines and all the different references and everything else.
Yes.
For some reason, that disappeared after this episode.
Told you.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but for some reason it disappeared after this episode.
Episode 4.
It's not like they sat there and answered all these questions.
Right.
But somehow they did, because I don't feel that way anymore, and I'm actually looking more towards, instead of looking backwards like I've been doing.
Right.
I'm actually looking forward and trying to do like you do and anticipate what's going to happen.
Crazy, right?
And I'm still trying to figure out what part of episode 4 it was that said, okay, you're good to go.
That's the one that did it.
Because I don't know.
That's the one that did it. One of the other things that you kind of have to remember about seeing some of these other variants, Kid Loki was also an Avenger. He was a young Avenger in the comics. So they're doing pretty good with introducing the younger versions to bring in the young Avengers. So keep an eye out. We may be seeing a lot more coming down the line when it comes to more shows. That's for damn sure. And I can't wait.
It'll be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting here over the next few weeks to see where they go and how they get there.
Yep. So
that's for sure.
So that is our full recap on episode 4 of Loki. Yay, the Nexus event. Dear Stabber, I'm surprised Owen Wilson, when he died, didn't say wow in his accent. That would have been, you know what? Dear Stabber, we're both right there with you.
That would have been great.
We're waiting for that. We're actually waiting for the wow or the or like a silent one. Wow.
I'd like the what the hell? I can see him saying that if he was to wake up in the post-apocalyptic. I can't say it.
Clip that.
post-apocalyptic. There we go.
There you go.
I had a couple too many C's in there.
Whoops.
When he wakes up in the post-apocalyptic world, I could hear him saying that. He was sitting there looking around going, what the hell?
Either what the hell or wow.
Yeah, what?
Lady Death is on top of it.
Oh, yeah. Love you too, Kaya.
Word up. So anyway, so that is our full recap of episode 4, the Nexus event of Loki. We are live every Monday for Avenger Pretenders, except for next week. So here's the breakdown. Tomorrow, we have the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Accidental Punch. Then, of course, we have Loki on Wednesday. JT is going to be doing a special show on Wednesday right here on the channel. Thursday, we're going to have Shout Out with JT. And then Friday, we're having a special Avenger Pretender recording of episode 5 of Loki because I will be on vacation next week. So, we've got a lot of stuff planned for this week. We've got a lot of things going on. The Sully Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. A special show by JT tomorrow. What time? Wednesday. What time are you doing the show? Wednesday?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. on Wednesday. And then he's going to watch Loki afterward.
Yep.
And then, of course, we'll have Shout Out with JT on Thursday. And then Avenger Pretenders on Friday. Big week. Big week.
Yep.
A lot of stuff we got to get done before I go away on vacation. And we're going to knock it out of the park. Guys, you have been watching and listening to Avenger Pretenders.
Wait. Slow down, buddy.
What?
Slow down.
What?
We got to give our ratings.
Oh, you're right.
We didn't give our ratings.
You're right. Lady Death, I may miss Friday's show. I'm getting my hair cut so I can dye it Saturday morning. Bring the phone with you and watch it on your phone with headphones in. Or blast the volume so everybody hears how awesome we are.
Okay, Biden, back off the microphone.
I'm just saying.
So I'm giving it 3 3/4 helmets.
Ooh, 3 3/4 Loki helmets. Why?
I can't quite go to 4
Okay.
because they didn't do a little bit more with the timekeepers.
Well, they just revealed them.
If they would have done a little bit more with the timekeepers in that episode, it would have pushed it up to a 4.
Okay.
I love the episode. A lot of action.
Sure.
A lot of things, like I said, cleared up for me in my head to where the point where I'm actually looking forward in the timeline to the next episode to try and figure out, ahead of time what's going on, that kind of thing. It was this close. It was this close to being on the scale of Falcon and Winter Soldier because not one episode yet has come anywhere close to grabbing me like Falcon and Winter Soldier did for all 6 episodes.
All right.
So
all right.
3 3/4, but it was close. It was really close.
3 3/4. All right. Well, I'm going to say that it earned its 4. It's 4 horn, four Loki helmets. I'm saying it. It did earn its 4. Obviously, the callbacks, the Easter eggs, the stuff like that, the post-credit scene alone basically took everything and went.
That's what pushed it. That's what pushed it.
Guys, we're going to do this. So I am giving it a 4 this time. It definitely made up for the 3 from last week. So I got to bump it up to that 4. It worked. It worked. Everything that they did worked. I still want to know what Sylvie did in order to get arrested.
Yeah.
Will we find out? Awesome. I don't know.
And in the ratings, there's where you can see how I'm a lot more critical in a different way than you are.
Oh yeah.
And it's neat to see sometimes the differences because these first 3 weeks we were dead on with each other.
Oh yeah.
And it was like, okay, no, we can't do this.
Straight across the board. We've been straight across the board. But again,
Loki gives it, or Nakia gives it 4 helmets.
Okay, 4 helmets. Awesome. Perfect. Excellent. So with that, we will see you guys on Friday. If you want to catch it live, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Right here, Friday. Just saying. It's going to happen. For Avenger Pretenders. And of course, as always, tune in tomorrow for The Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday for Shout Out with JT. The surprise show tomorrow at 7 p.m. And then we'll see you Friday. So, guys,
Yeah.
if you want to help us out, download the show, tell your friends about it, subscribe to our channel, click the bell, let you know when we're live every single time. And, of course, don't forget, Anchor.fm/The Sully Show. That's where you can subscribe to the audio podcast only and help us out. All right? Sound like a plan? Sounds good. We will see you guys next time. And for those still watching, we're going to do a raid. We're going to do a raid right now. We're going to go, let's see here. Let's see. Who should we raise? Who are we going to raid? Let's see who is live tonight. Yes. Going to see who's live. Let's see, who haven't we raided? So for those watching on Facebook, thank you, by the way. Thank you as always for watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, D-Live now, Twitch, obviously. Twitch is our main home. It's our home. It's our home. It's our home. And we're going to...
TV, baby.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to raid Dozy Ho. Dozy Ho is live tonight, so we're going to raid her channel. Dozy Ho. Dozy Ho. I hope I spelled it right. Let me just go back. I think I put an extra letter in there. I did. So we're going to raid Dozy Ho. She's playing Valiant. Wow. That was horrible. Valorant. She's playing Valorant right now. So make sure you, if you're subscribing to the channel, Punchers Unite with the Accidental Punch logo, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the Sully Show. Bye, guys. It's going to be fun. I promise. I do. Thanks for tuning in. Later. Well, I can't do those, actually. Hold on a minute. I got to pull this up and do it the right way. So, we'll see you guys later. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
She got you.
Goodbye now.